Today we are going to explore the world of literature, an art form that has been an essential part of human culture for centuries. Literature has the power to transport us to different times, places, and perspectives, and to evoke emotions and experiences that we might not otherwise encounter. Whether it's a poem, a novel, a play, or an essay, literature has the ability to enrich our lives and expand our understanding of the world around us. In this presentation, we'll be taking a closer look at the different types and genres of literature, including poetry, drama, prose fiction, non-fiction, short stories, journalism, and essays. We'll discuss their unique features and explore some of the most notable examples and highlight the value of reading and engaging with literature. So whether you're a literature enthusiast or simply curious about the power of words, I hope you'll join me on this journey through the world of literature. Let's begin.
So today we're going to talk about literature. So what is literature? So literature is the art of combining spoken or written words and their meanings into forms which have artistic and emotional appeal. So why is literature important? They have 5 factors about why literature is important. First, literature can improve communication and writing skills. It is through reading that helps enhance communication skills and improves ability to write, which helps them to become a better communicator. Next, expands vocabulary. That would truly expand your vocabulary by reading a wide range of literature. Third, stress reliever. That literature can relieve stress because our minds are being focused on a single task. Next, keeps the brain active and healthy. Through improving concentration on what you are reading, that stretches your imagination. And lastly, literature inspires imagination, thus strengthening our imagination.
The 2 main types of literature are prose and poetry. The difference between prose and poetry are, in form, prose is written in paragraph form, while poetry is written in stanza or verse form. In language, prose is expressed in ordinary form, while poetry is in metrical, rhythmic, and figurative language. In appeal, prose is to intellect, while poetry is to the emotion. In aim, prose is to convince, instruct, imitation, and intellect, while poetry is steer the imagination and art as an idea of how life should be. The different types of literature are poetry, drama, prose, fiction, non-fiction, short story, journalism, and essay. Okay, the first type of literature is poetry. Poetry is highly expressive nature using special forms and choice of words and emotional images. Poems has 4 main types. These are haiku, free verse, scannets, and acrostic.
Drama, a story created by actors on stage in front of an audience.
Examples of drama are Hamlet,
Romeo and Juliet, Othello, Macbeth by William Shakespeare, and The Death of a Salesman by Arthur Miller. Prose fiction. Prose fiction is any creative imaginary writing that is written in sentences and paragraphs, as opposed to creative imaginary writing in lines and scenes, or creative imaginary writing in lines and stanzas. Examples of prose fiction are Romeo and Juliet, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, and The Brave New World.
Short story, a piece of prose fiction that can typically be read in a single sitting and focuses on a self-contained incident or series of linked incidents with the intent of evoking a single effect or mood. Example, The Fall of House of Usher by Edgar Allan Poe, A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, The Gift of Maggie by O. Henry, The Lottery by Shirley Jackson. Non-fiction refers to literature based in fact. It is the broadest category of literature. Example, biographies, autobiographies, memoirs, essays, journalism.
Other types of non-fiction. Essays. Essays are non-fiction expository writing ranging from informal, personal topics to closely critical treatments of important subjects. Examples are Self-Reliance by Ralph Waldo Emerson, The Death of the Moth by Virginia Woolf, Shooting an Elephant by George Orwell, and Why I Write by Joan Didion. Journalism. Journalism is a creative non-fiction form that comes closest to newspaper and magazine writing. It is fact-driven and requires research and other interviews. Examples are Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas by Hunter S. Thompson, The New Jim Crow by Michelle Alexander, and lastly, A Brief History of Time by Stephen Hawking. Conclusion. Literature is a powerful art form that expresses human experience and emotions through written form. Another conclusion is that there are two divisions of literature, prose and poetry. The clear distinction between the two is that prose doesn't involve any metric and rhythms, unlike poetry, which we all know has rhythm and each line has rhymes. We also have a plethora of different types of literature: poetry, drama, prose fiction, non-fiction, short stories, journalism, and essays. Before we end this presentation, we at Group 6 want to leave you with something. Let's take a moment to appreciate the power of words and the beauty of literature. Pick up a book, read a poem, or attend a play. Immerse yourself in the magic of literature and let it transport you to new worlds and perspectives. That is all. Thank you.